Good morning, good morning, everyone. I trust that you are well. This morning's learning is dedicated to memory of all those as your sight falls today, as well as all those that we are saying Kaddish for during the year. In addition to that, of course, our thoughts and prayers are with the people and the Jews in particular in the Ukraine. So, VAYIKRA, a new book, new episode and story of the Jewish people. We're told at the beginning of the Parsha, VAYIKRA Moshe, that God called to Moshe. I want to speak and tell you two stories about listening and hearing the call. Because in life, we all hear calls. The question is whether we respond and react to it. The first one relates to Sivan Rahav Meir. She is a great speaker and journalist, and she's one of at the forefront of Jewish education around the world. And she tells a story about a teacher. Teacher in a school used to give out certificates for excellence. One day, by mistake, she gave the certificate to the wrong child. She sent the letter, which we all get with great pride, and she sent it to the parents, saying that I'm very delighted to tell you your son has been doing so well in class, and therefore I'm giving him this special award for excellence for this week. Anyways, she came to class and she realized the faux pas, the mistake that she made. And now she found herself in a difficult situation. You see, this child, he wasn't exactly the teacher's pet. He was the teacher's nightmare. Every day he would drive the teacher absolutely mad, insane, disrupt the class, mess it up. Anyways, the teacher swallowed, breathed deeply, and went over to this young man and gave him the certificate. And she told the student, she said to him, listen, I made a mistake and I'm giving you this certificate for excellence. It was a mistake, but it's happened. But now I want you to show me that you deserve it. And lo and behold, to her amazement and surprise, as day after day went past, this student that now had this golden award in his pocket, and his parents thought that he was the reformed student, he started slowly but surely to reform his character. He was listening, he was hearing, he was paying attention, he was diligent, he improved. And at the end of the week, the teacher went over to him and said, it was a mistake that I gave it to you, but you have certainly deserved it. And I think there is an important lesson for us that sometimes we can, by praising our children or by praising others, that we may not necessarily feel that they are up to our lofty standards. We can in fact raise their game, enable them, facilitate their rehabilitation, so that they actually can become model students and children. And therefore, rather than, it's sometimes worthwhile praising them, giving them the credit for which hopefully they will earn their rightful reward and title. Second story I want to share with you is from same person, Sivan Rahav Meir, and she told the story relating to Natan Sharansky. You may have heard the story; it's been going around. So Natan Sharansky was asked last week. Remember, he came from the Ukraine, and he found himself in a situation where he was asked, 20, 30 years ago, he was a refusenik, more, 40 years ago, he was a refusenik, and they asked him about the situation in the Ukraine today, what's his thoughts? And he said, I want to tell you, there seems to be a fundamental distinction and difference between when I was growing up in the Ukraine and today. He said, so when I was growing up in the Ukraine, you should know that you had to show your passport. That was your ticket to anything, to entrance into any way of life, any occupation, any job, anything in our society in Ukraine. And the one word that you didn't want on your passport was the word Jew. If you had the word Jew on it, the doors were closed. There was nothing that you could do. If you had Slovakian, you had Pole, whatever it was, you could work, you could live, you could integrate into society. But the word Jew meant that you were persona non grata. Fast forward Natan Sharansky says, to today, during this terrible, horrific crisis in Ukraine, if you have on your passport in the Ukraine, Pole, Czechoslovakian, German, whatever it is, you're pretty much stuck in the country in Ukraine. And you're basically meant to fend for yourself, to try to get out, to try to manage in these most extraordinarily difficult circumstances, a war zone. He said, but today, everyone wants on their passport in the Ukraine the word Jew. Because if you have the word Jew, everyone knows that there are hundreds and thousands of people on the outside that care for you, that want to help you, that are sending aid across, and they're offering their support and trying everything they can to get you out. So how the tables have changed. So I think there are these two lessons come together. On the one hand, we have to believe not just in ourselves, we have to believe in other people. Not always should we judge a book by its cover. We should never do that. We should be looking at people and looking deep in their souls, in their hearts, and being able to see the good in everyone, like Sivan Raham tells in her story. And also there is this other idea, the second calling, if you want, which is that we should be calling and reaching out to others less fortunate than ourselves. And we should hear that calling. Right now is a call, not a call to arms, but for us to be able to offer help and support. This isn't a short crisis. This is going to be ongoing. It could take years to resolve. And there's a tremendous, tremendous unrest, tremendous persecution, tremendous duress that the people are suffering at the hands of the Russians. And therefore it is for us to do everything and anything we can to help them. And in the schus, in the merit of this, please God, we will see peace in our time. Please God, tomorrow we'll be back, normal time, 9 a.m. in my seat, hopefully calmly and collectively without standing in the middle of a room holding a phone. But it was lovely to see you. We wish everyone well. And remember, tonight we have a major, major production. We are in conversation with the covert missionary operation, the counter covert missionary operations. Absolutely fascinating interviews and talks by world experts. Please, please join us in conjunction with Bushi United Synagogue, Woodside Park Synagogue, interview with a JC correspondent and journalist. We hope you will join us then, 8:15 on the usual channels. Take care, be well, all the best.